There was an exchange in the United States Congress which gave me life yesterday. And look, we are not like Fauci stan people here, right? Like, this is not the Fauci channel like CNN and MSNBC. I think he's done a lot of stuff wrong. Get that all out of the way. But he gave it right back to Senator Rand Paul yesterday in Congress. It's one of the best things I've watched in a long time. Let's take a listen.
If you look at what's going on right now, the things that are going on in New York to get their test positivity 1% or less is because they are looking at the guidelines that we have put together from the task force of the 4 or 5 things of masks, social distancing, outdoors more than indoors, avoiding crowds, and washing hands.
Or they've developed enough community immunity that they're no longer having the pandemic because they have enough immunity in New York City to actually stop.
I challenge that, Senator, because I want to, please, sir, I would like to be able to do this because this happens with Senator Rand all the time. You were not listening to what the director of the CDC said, that in New York, it's about 22%. If you believe 22% is herd immunity, I believe you're alone in that.
That is so amazing. I like the way he calls him Senator Rand. Like, it's just like a subtle disrespect that I really appreciate there.
Yeah, shouldn't even dignify his position. No, it was incredible. And look, that unfortunately, Rand Paul's line that he's pushing there, which is not the one held by the majority of the American public, by a 3-1 margin. It is not the one held by most Republican voters, most Democratic voters, but it is the one held by the Republican elite. Why? Because libertarians like Rand Paul are pushing a false herd immunity narrative in order to try and reopen the economy, which means we would all be able to get back to work, even though Sweden actually has a higher case fatality rate than the rest of the Scandinavian countries. Oh, and their own bank, the Reich Bank, I didn't want to say Reich Bank. That's an old throwback that doesn't deserve there. But the Riksbank said that their economic projection will be worse than the other Nordic countries. To be very clear here, Sweden's own central bank. Okay, so that's exactly what happened here.
They killed more people with the upside of that their economy is still crappy.
Correct.
Great, great. That's your herd mentality for you, I guess, there. It's funny because, like, it's so satisfying because I feel like that conversation is probably, that specific debate is probably like playing out among family members all across America. And
how many boomer uncles out there are like, yeah, but Rand Paul told me 22%.
Right, if we just go out, we'll be fine, right? And it's Fauci is like the one resistance hero that I can kind of get behind because he's not perfect. Yes. We don't do the like lionizing public health officials or politicians or whatever. Right? He was wrong about masks, all that stuff. But he does go kind of hard, and I do appreciate that. And he's managed to survive. And I will say that like he's one of the only figures left in this whole scene that a relatively large number of people still trust, which is really important because as we've been tracking here, if we do end up with a vaccine, we really need people to take that vaccine and have some trust in it. And I think Fauci will ultimately be a key part of that. But yeah, I mean, it shows the just complete absurdity of this idea. They want to wish this thing away. They want it, and I get it. Like, we all want to go back to normal. We all want to be able to just go back to like what we were doing with our lives and not having to think about this thing. But if you actually went this herd immunity approach, it would kill millions of people. Like, based on the death rate that we've had here, to have the number of people infected with coronavirus that you would need in order to achieve herd immunity, or herd mentality as the president calls it, you would actually risk killing millions of people. So probably not the right approach. Oh, and by the way, you will also not save the economy.
Yeah, well, that's the real issue, right? It's like let's say even that they're willing to sacrifice that to save the economy. It's just not going to happen. I mean, there's just no public faith that wants to go out and to spend money in an environment where they think that they're going to get sick. It's just not going to happen. So get it through your heads, people. It's not going to work.
Indeed. Okay. All right, more Rising for you after this.